unsung narrative. Young, dumb American, arrogant, throwing fits, ripping shit, tearing it, imperative. Then I'm killing this mic no matter where I live. These derelict rappers acting a fool, this embarrassing, is flagrant. That's the nature of this entertainment, and we can't even change it. Guilty before arraignment, now the system tainted. But when we speak, they all laugh at us. And y'all wonder why I'm lacking trust. Try to fight a giant with attorneys that can back them up. That's church versus science, both sides start acting up. I'm late on my assignment, hopping up a mile high, climbing, obviously never silent. New alignment, I'm defined, cannot describe it. Used to describe it as a young graffiti artist. Before the beard, I always got carded. At every bar, even though my bar's been the hardest. The scars on my face, and I ain't always been the smartest. But I'll show you where my heart is. I said I'll show you where my heart is. I can show you where my heart's at. See it on my sleeve, even if the beat stops my soul.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday. Tuesday with the fellas. Little sports nonsense and whiskey. How we doing, gentlemen? Pinky, Robert. Cheers, good sirs.
It's been okay. It's been okay. There's been better sports weekends for me. Lots better sports weekends.
Is this screen an homage of Penn State, the reverse of a whiteout? What are we doing here?
I don't know.
Hold on.
I
like this one better.
Yeah, no, it's not the Pinky show. That's awful.
Oh goodness.
Better. Much
little silent moment for Penn State. We'll get there. Fellas, how we doing this evening?
We're doing all right. It was not a great sports weekend. So that was kind of unfortunate for me, but it was a good weekend hanging with people that I love. So I'll take that.
So I will say happy birthday to my beautiful wife. She is actually in Vegas living it up. Just got done having dinner at Pinky's.
Solid.
Pinky's by Vanderpump is a restaurant out there.
I'm glad that she's thinking about you. So. You should have trademarked your name, Pinky. You'd be making millions.
Right? If only I knew how to do that, but that's okay.
That's what ChatGPT is for.
And what came first, the pinky or the pinky?
Or the brain? Ah!
Who knows?
Same.
Who knows? Oh. All right, boys. Well, let's get started. We've got a lot to get through. So let's not waste any time. Caleb, it pains me to say this, and I think you batted an eyelash or gave me kind of a crooked look when I said it, but I got a feeling the Chiefs are going to the AFC Championship game and going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
And I hate that more than anything. But the Ravens, without Lamar, are awful. With Lamar, I still don't know how many. They'll win more games, but how many will they win? That defense is a sieve right now. And then Buffalo. That defense was losing players left and right last night. Man. Buckle up, guys. Buckle up. We're in for it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see a path that doesn't involve Kansas City in the Super Bowl again. They have continued to look better incrementally each week to the point where they held Detroit to under 20 points. They put up 30, if I'm remembering the score correctly.
They did.
So there's that going for them. There's the constant rumor mill of them adding a running back before the trade deadline, and there are a couple out there that would make sense in a couple different scenarios. And then they get Rashee Rice back next week.
That they do.
Actually,
they got him back today.
Today. He rejoined the team today. So, and that's arguably a top 10 receiver. When he got hurt last year, the way he was looking was, I
already got some guys trying to trade for him in fantasy.
Yeah. A little too late. Little too late if you're going to try to make that move. So, yes, Pinky. Who who on the AFC side is going to jump in and challenge them in a realistic manner to knock them out of that position this year when you just look around the landscape?
Chargers, I know. Broncos.
They're going to miss their two best offensive linemen for the year, and those two best.
Alt's coming back.
What is he?
Yeah, Alt was just an ankle. So
I know, but I thought it was a high ankle sprain.
Yeah, that's like 6 weeks.
That's 6 to 8, first of all. And that's not, especially for a lineman, not always something you really recover from. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me if he's done for the year. Maybe I should say it that way. If he comes back, that's really good news for them. But they're still missing those pieces, so they'd have to go into Kansas City most likely rather than have any home game playoffs. I mean, maybe they're the best option, but I don't know, man.
I mean, I think the Chargers and the Broncos are not afraid of the Chiefs, and I do think they could play tough games. Division opponents are always tough. But I haven't seen anything from the Chargers or the Broncos at the moment that say, like, down the stretch they need to have some improvements made, which we've still got time in the season to get better. But
yeah, let's just be honest though. You hold Detroit to under 20. There's very few other offenses in the league that can put that kind of firepower out there. And if you don't have those kinds of weapons, truly, it could be detrimental.
Yeah, this is I think the Chiefs are about to start going on a run. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And I hate it. When it came out of my mouth, you knew that I was throwing up at the same time. But
yeah, you did.
We'll see, Chase. We'll see, buddy. We'll talk a little bit more about what happened this weekend, but from what I watched last night from the AFC landscape, when it's all said and done, the Chiefs might end up being the best team in the AFC. And if they are in Arrowhead in the playoffs, with or without the refs, however you guys feel about it.
With the refs.
They're going to be hard to beat.
No doubt.
I do think a lot of people crying about the Lions game. I watched the Lions game. The penalties called, not called, like, none of them felt like they impacted the game overall, in my opinion. Like, there was nothing egregious that I went like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that.
Not having a single penalty is pretty wild, though.
That's a little wild. It could be an overreaction, Chase. It could be. But they played their best game.
This is what they've been doing every week.
I had the Lions ranked as the best team in the NFC, and to go out there and beat them like that, and it wasn't really that close. Just feel like they keep getting better. They know how to play tough games. Herbert and Knicks don't know how to play a tough playoff game yet. Like, they haven't done it. Mahomes has done it like 50 times already. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and then the way Buffalo has looked without a true weapon on the offensive side of the ball outside of Josh Allen, that offense just continues to look like it's stuck in the mud.
Well, there's times when they are ahead of schedule, when they are up 14-7, when they're up 21-7, it's a little bit easier. When they're playing from behind and you key on the run, it makes it tough on Josh Allen to have to know score.
I mean, dude, come on, let's be honest. You can't keep saying the same, like, well, if he's protected, he's a really good quarterback. If they run the ball, they're a really good offense. Like, yes, everybody has those things in common. Like, that's a commonality for everybody's offense. They don't have any weapons. They thought Dalton Kincaid was going to be something. He's out. They thought Keon Coleman was going to be something. He's not. Shakur is not a true number one. They don't have a a running game that they feel they can truly rely on, even though James Cook is a really good running back. But they don't want to give it to him 25 times a game. So if all you have is a quarterback who's really good, but that quarterback doesn't have anybody that's able to get separation, make space, run a proper route, then you're relying on precision and perfection almost every single game. And those are recipes for disaster, as we saw this last weekend with them in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's crazy. Buffalo's in a hard place. That defense has just been destroyed with injuries. So
This whole season's been riddled with a lot of weird injuries already.
I'm so worried, guys. I don't want to see another Chiefs Super Bowl. I don't. I rooted for the Chiefs to make a Super Bowl. They did that. They've done that. It's over. I do not root for that no more. But I just don't see anybody stopping the evil empire right now.
All things still run through Arrowhead until proven otherwise, and that continues to hold true.
I hate that fact. All right. Let's move on to maybe a happier subject. Let's talk about
Square peg round hole. Is that where we're going?
Daniel Jones and the Colts. Are they getting to a point that we have to say they are legit?
Absolutely.
Legit.
Regardless of who they've played and what their schedule has been, they beat who they're supposed to have beaten. They beat the Broncos, who they weren't supposed to beat. Their offense is actually scoring points, and their defense is starting to keep up a little bit more. They've got one of the best running backs in the league. Their rookie tight end looks like he might be one of the top 10 tight ends in the league. They've got a good offensive line and a quarterback who's making few mistakes, which I believe, based on everything that I just said before the quarterback, I think all those things will continue to be really good for the rest of the season, especially given the division they play in.
Robert, thoughts on Daniel Jones and the Colts?
I'm just excited the Colts are good again. I mean, I kind of grew up watching them with Peyton Manning, so it's kind of good to see them come back to return to form. I'm excited. I feel like it's a good start. We'll see what happens.
I have no hate towards the Colts.
I don't either. I'm excited for them.
They've given us our two best quarterbacks, so they are always going to have a place in my heart.
Fair enough, Pinky.
Oh, that's bad.
But is he wrong? No.
Two best quarterbacks in Broncos franchise history were not drafted by the Broncos. They were drafted by the Colts.
Colts become Broncos. It's just how it works, man.
Apparently.
Broncos.
It's the evolution.
I do think the Colts are going to be the AFC South division winners. I do think the competition is starting to look better. The Texans have started to look better. The Jags have been playing well. So they're going to have some competition. I'm excited. I don't know when it's on the schedule, but the Colts do play the AFC West. So they will be playing the Chargers and the Chiefs soon. So we should be able to see when those matchups are. Caleb's got the sheet. Tell the people.
Bring it.
They play the Chargers this weekend.
Perfect.
They play
Love
KC week 12 after their Germany game. Their bye week. Yeah, they play KC week 12 at KC. They play LA in LA.
Okay. Love it.
Solid. We love to see it.
Yeah. I think every big game the Colts are in from here on out, we're going to be looking for that moment to be like, yeah, they're not contenders. Yeah, they're not contenders. Let's see what happens. I'm still on that fence, but they're 5-1. That's a good start.
Look, quarter of the way through the season, a little bit over that now, almost a third of the way through the season. You know what teams are. The only exception is injury. And if guys have have had key pieces out that may come back, then things can change a little bit. But as far as I'm concerned, at this point of the season, teams have already showed us who they are and what they're going to do. Baltimore is probably the one only exception, because if Lamar does come back, they could potentially go on a run and still get into the playoffs. Outside of that, though, I think everybody's pretty much telling us who they are. Houston is a really good defense. Their offense is very hit and miss. Jacksonville is very interesting. We talked about that already last week. Those two teams could very easily see themselves in the playoffs, Indy and Jacksonville, given the way the landscape has completely shifted because of certain injuries and teams not living up to expectations. So, I mean, one of them is going to win this division. Is it Indy or Jacksonville? I think that's kind of a coin flip at this point in time. I know the records would say Indy, but I think both teams are really kind of figuring it out. They're really starting to click and discover who they are. I think it may come down to who do you trust more, Daniel Jones and the Indy offensive line, or Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville's offensive line and Trevor Lawrence. And I'd probably lean towards Indy's offensive line and Daniel Jones in that coin flip.
All right, Caleb, you're gonna love this, baby.
Okay.
Sam Darnold and the Seahawks. Looking good.
Less than 30 days, baby. So excited.
I'll take a couple pictures for you while we're at the game, Caleb. I'll get some pictures of Sam Darnold just for you.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Oh, this who'd they play this weekend? They played the Jags, and they did beat the Jaguars in a tough game. Both teams played pretty good defense. Jackson Smith and Njigba, holy crap.
Pretty good.
What could he do if they didn't have the ghost of Cooper Kupp on the team? If they actually had Cooper Kupp?
I think that's why he's able to do what he's doing this year, is because they have a legit number 2 who can take receiving possessions when needed. So teams are having to actually not just double team him. And because of that, he's showing what he's capable of, which is high level play.
So I'm excited. I'm going to go see him play live and see what it's all about. They're playing the Cardinals. It's a division opponent when we go. Should be fun. I'm glad I got tickets now. If they keep winning, those tickets usually start going up in price if they keep winning. So we got a pretty good price locked in. So
Sam Darnold, by the numbers right now, is on the outside, just looking in, of that MVP conversation.
I don't know about that, but
go look at the numbers. What's Seattle, 4-2 right now?
I believe they are.
Yeah. Pull up his numbers, Robert.
Yeah, do it, Robert. Do it now.
He is the clear leader of that team. He's making guys like A.J. Barner a weapon. That run game is a dual-headed monster in Charbonnet and Walker.
Just the Sam Darnold stats?
Yeah, just this season right now. I'm just saying. I said just by the numbers.
2025, he is... Oh, hold on. He's in third with 1,541 yards. He's tied for 5th with 11 touchdowns. He's tied 44th for 3 interceptions. His quarterback rating is 3rd at 78.5.
All great, not amazing, but
did I say he was the MVP though? Like, you guys are acting like what I said is absolutely ridiculous, and I feel like
I didn't
everything.
say anything.
Not
Hold
you,
on.
not you. We'll say this Chase fellow, fellow, and Pinky refuse to just accept facts, and they continue to use these things called lying eyes that have them unable to evaluate talent. Apparently, I don't know.
We'll see.
I'm not getting in on that.
We'll see.
He just read like he's basically top 3 in all these statistical categories, and you're like, nah, dark horse on the outside looking in MVP conversation is absolutely ridiculous.
He's 3rd, bronze medal, baby.
Like, oh goodness.
Yeah, I would do a deep dive on what teams he's played so far, but we won't go there. We'll
You're
give him
gonna
his
do the same
kudos.
with Baker because Baker hasn't exactly played elite competition,
Hold on.
and you've got Baker as the
Whoa.
MVP right now.
Most people have Baker as the MVP right now.
I didn't say Darnold was the MVP, but you guys are like, my lord, talk about like just picking and choosing how you're going to represent certain things.
Yeah, don't you talk about my Baker like that.
All right, here you go. Fine, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this the right way, ladies and gentlemen. Baker Mayfield, and this is all according to ESPN, by the way. He is 4th. Sam Darnold is 3rd, just to be clear. And he is ahead by, 2 yards, 1,539 yards. He's tied for 3rd with 12 touchdowns. Tied for 26 with 1 interception. His overall QB rating is 71.1 and 8th.
That's a good touchdown to interception ratio.
How has nobody said this? And I'm glad it's going to come out of our mouths first.
You're welcome, Caleb. Glad I could help you with this assist.
Tampa has the best wide receiving group in the entire league. Period. End of discussion.
When they're healthy.
No. Right now, they're showing you they have the best wide receiver group in the league because their top 4 wide receivers are out, and Baker went and threw for 300 yards this last weekend and like 4 touchdowns. Now, Baker's really good, so he helps with some of that, right? But they're down their top 4 dudes, and they've still got guys producing. So I don't care what anybody says anymore. I'm not talking about who has the best duo. I'm not talking about who's the best wide receiver in the league. I'm saying top to bottom, whoever NFL team has in their wide receiver room, Tampa's is the best now.
They're awesome. Tampa is. I really like what they got going on. They've been kind of the cardiac kids this year. They've played from behind in the 4th quarter and found ways to win.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that can come back to bite you. But a win is a win. At the end of the day, you take those W's any way you can get them. Take them. You take them.
They might be the best team in the league right now. It's hard to say.
Arguably. Now, Caleb, we wax poetic about all 3 of these quarterbacks, and we've talked about their teams are playing well, and they're looking good.
Square peg, round hole.
What 3 things do these 3 quarterbacks all have in common?
They all came from failed organizations who obviously have no clue what they're doing and are a big fan of ruining talent, not evaluating and growing said talent, developing said talent, keeping said talent. They're also Baker and Sam were in the same draft class, 1st and 3rd, right? If I remember right. Yep. So I think the other commonality there is time. Like they're not actually giving time. So there's a lot of commonalities. Bad offensive lines, no weapons around the quarterback, defensive-minded head coaches to start who had no clue what they were doing. The list is long. Square peg, round hole, baby. The NFL likes to ruin talent before it develops it.
The worst part about all this is Baker Mayfield actually played good football for the Cleveland Browns, and they dumped him.
And they let him go. I remember.
And that made no sense whatsoever.
Made the trade for Deshaun Watson and let Baker walk.
Yeah, Darnold and Daniel Jones had at least played bad enough, which you could make the argument was not completely their faults, that got them out of town.
They did not play well. They showed flashes, though, that the team should have been able to say, okay, what we're doing here is wrong. We need to switch gears. Even the Giants owner flat out said, we did everything we possibly could to ruin that kid.
Right.
The owner of the team said that out loud to the public. That's all you should need to know. And for Giants fans who are like, well, Daniel Jones will turn back into a pumpkin. I don't think so. There's a competent head coach in place who's offensive minded. There's a good offensive line. There's a good wide receiver one. Not great, but good. I think we can say Pittman's a good wide receiver one.
Serviceable at least.
Okay. There's quite a few number 2, 3 guys. I talked about Warren, who might be top 10 in the league already as a tight end. Really good as a rookie.
For sure.
We know Jonathan Taylor healthy is one of the best running backs in the league. Where you want to rank him, up to you. I wouldn't be mad if somebody had him 1. I wouldn't be mad if somebody had him like 6 or 7. Because there's some damn good running backs in the league right now. But he's really good. So if Daniel Jones throws an interception a game, okay, he throws 17 interceptions. I think he could double that in touchdowns, right? And as long as those interceptions aren't in key critical moments, if he can avoid those for the season, which he's been able to do so far, not turning it over in the red zone, that kind of thing, he'll be fine. So, again, and we've talked about this a lot, Pinky. We have very, very exactly same mindsets when it comes to how you build a team the right way if you want to win and sustain that winning. And it's from the inside out on both sides of the ball. And then you got to have weapons for your quarterback. Plain and simple. The Jets didn't have anybody for Sam Darnold. The Giants didn't have anybody for Daniel Jones. They did have Saquon, but Saquon was hurt for 1 year. And even then, there was still no offensive line, so it made them both look foolish. The play calling was their play calling. So, yeah, again, square peg, round hole. The NFL has these people who think they're so brilliant that this talent's going to come in and they're going to force them to learn their system, or it means they're not good. You drafted them because they're talented. But that's based on what they were doing. Excuse me. So why do you keep bringing them in and then trying to force them to do something they didn't? Start with what they do well and see if they can grow and develop into the other things you want them to do. That seems like the logical thing, but it doesn't seem like the common thing.
Right. I've got 2 more things for the NFL. I was a little shocked this week to see the Titans fire their head coach. The team itself is pretty awful. Like, they just don't have a lot of talent.
I don't know. Yeah, like, what were they expecting?
Like, I know the in the press conference they just said that we expected the team to start getting better and we're not seeing improvements, so they cut it loose now. And I'm like, but I feel like still let him go to the end of the season. But again, you gave this guy less than 2 years. He's got a quarterback that sometimes doesn't let it loose. Holds onto the ball a little too long sometimes.
But it's a rookie quarterback with not a great offensive line.
No weapons.
Yeah, like what were you expecting to happen?
No consistent running game. Bless you. So yeah, it's rough there in Tennessee. So
this is his last podcast. All right, Caleb.
Let's talk about something. Let's talk about something good.
Okay. This is a good one.
Is this not the feel good story of at least the weekend?
Look, more power to Jackson Dart. I did not think he was going to be able to play this well right away. Some talent there, yes. Did we see him as one of the better quarterbacks in the draft? No, not necessarily. So shame on us. Right now, he's saving a couple jobs in New York there for sure. We did talk about Scatterbo quite a bit, though, and how we were amazed, 1, that he fell to the 4th round. Like, that makes no sense. But 2, why people weren't talking about him more as one of the top running backs.
You know what's crazy? Scatterbo is the guy that, like, in college, you just see the guy. That is a football player.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The measurables weren't great. But when I pop on the tape, he can do that. Oh, he can do that. Oh, he can run a guy over. Oh, he can catch the ball. Oh, he can do – like, you start looking at the tape and you're like, wait, this guy can do most of everything. He's not the most electric player, but he's a damn good football player, and I want that on my team.
Well, and there's another thing between that underwear Olympics speed and football speed, right? And Scatterbo, when you turn on the tape, looks fast playing. I never watched him and go, oh, that dude looks slow. But then you like see his 40 time or the shuttle or whatever, and you're like, oh, well, that's not what it looked like. And then people are like, well, that's because he's playing college. When he gets to the pros, it's a different level. It's a different game. It's a different speed. Yeah, I mean, that's all true to an extent, but like the tape doesn't lie. People say that all the time. And then they listen to their lying eyes and say, well, the tape's wrong. The measurables are right. And it's like, why? Why do you do that to yourselves all the time? Don't do that. Don't do the analytics. Use your gut. Use your eyes. They're usually going to be right more often than not. And he's looking great for the Giants. So it's a shame Malik Neighbors got hurt and is out for a good while now.
Season.
Well, dude, didn't they say he tore his MCL, his ACL, his?
I think he did.
Like, it was bad.
I think he did tear it all.
So this season, but we all know, like, you don't even look like yourself again until it's a season removed from coming back.
Right.
And with what his injury is, he may not be back till late next year. So that's 2 seasons he misses. Right? So that's a shame because you have that kind of young core. Theo Johnson, their tight end, is actually looking pretty decent as a weapon for Jackson Dart. That defense is, man, that offense gives them a little bit more time away from the field and gives them a chance to really come after the quarterback a little more. That defense could be more dangerous. So the Giants might actually be in a much better situation than maybe people wanted to give them credit for.
That Giants front four is nasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nasty. The rest of the defense is not really great by any means, but that front four is arguably the best in football.
Yeah, but like we said, you get those lines figured out. You can build from the outside in. If you already have those keys there, man.
So, this will be fun. Giants coming to Denver this weekend. So should be a fun matchup. We will see what happens. I am going to the game. I'm a little nervous. When a week or two ago, I was not nervous. I was like, oh, we're going to smash these dudes. I'm a little nervous. Now, they did put up a stinker the week before they played Philly. So we'll see. We'll see. But I thought this was a fun story. They looked great against Philly. Rounding out the NFL talk, quick hitter. We really can't go long on this. Is it time to really rethink? I know they're not going to. But is it time to think about rethinking the international games?
Dude,
I blame you. I blame you.
Dude,
Boo this man.
The Jets and Broncos game is the worst thing that America's done to the British since 1776.
That's a straight
that game was bad, bro.
Whew.
Like you people tell me that soccer is boring to watch. Did you watch that Broncos game, bro? You could have fell asleep for 2 quarters, woke up, and would have missed nothing.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I've been consistent on this topic since we started this whole endeavor. And Pinky has told me I'm a complete idiot multiple times, cussed me out, this, that, and the other. And now he brings this question up like
hold on,
he's the guy who's going to be here going, yeah, we should do these.
I haven't cussed you out. I just said it.
You told me I was an effing idiot because I talked negatively about the international games.
Ooh.
I think they do help grow the game, but it's kind of like Thursday night football as well. Like when you get so many stinkers on Thursday night, what are we really doing to the American people, right? What are we doing to the international folks who are getting to watch these turds over there? So I don't know how they fix the problem. They're not going to stop international games. Like that's not going to happen.
No, they want 18 game schedule, 18 international games. Every team plays one overseas.
How can we make these games a better, enjoyable game for us American fans that have to watch them at 7:30 in the morning, or the international fans who are there at the game? I saw a game like this. You remember the last game that looked like this, Caleb?
No.
Thursday night
Yes.
football, Broncos Colts. Russell Wilson's like third or fourth game with the Broncos. It was 9-9 going to overtime. I was.
You want me to
game.
remember something about a season that I turned off and completely put in the back of my memory blackouts after the first drive of the season when I told you guys he should be fired and you yelled at me and said I'm an idiot? That's too quick. How could you tell? And I said, trust me, this needs to change immediately. No, dude, I don't remember anything about that. That season is completely locked away.
Yikes.
My son still gives me shit about taking him to that game.
Ugh.
So,
yuck,
all
dude,
right.
Yuck. No, the international games, look, there's consistently issues with the playing field, whether it's grass or turf. There's taking away a home game from a fan base. There's the ridiculous travel for the teams on the home and away teams. There's travel there and back, let's keep in mind. There's the time change, which people don't want to really talk about, but it's a wild hit to the body on such short turnarounds when you're supposed to be playing at your physical ultimate peak week in and week out. There's a list. There's a list of things why I do not like the international games. I love the way the international fans turn out. I love it. I don't care if everybody in that stadium's rocking a different color jersey, different player, different team, aren't even the ones playing. I love that they're selling out these 65, 70, 80,000 seat stadiums. They're loud. They're enjoying themselves. I love all that.
I love that they sing Sweet Caroline before the fourth quarter. I don't even like that song. But when the whole crowd's singing it, it's pretty awesome. Sorry, Caleb, I stole your thunder.
No, you're good. So I like the crowds. I like the atmosphere. But I have more cons checked in that column than I do pros checked in that column. So I'm not an overall fan of them at the way they're currently constructed. Now, I do have an idea, Pink, and I've thought about this a lot. Since you want to talk about this, since you said we were going to talk about this again, I tried to fine-tune this a little bit, okay? I think the NFL should pick, say, 6 locations. They should partner with said areas, and they should build a stadium themselves with exact specifications for NFL football. The turf, the capacity for the seating, the infrastructure inside the stadium, everything they need, right? You do one in London, you do one in Dublin if you want to, you do one in Madrid, Berlin, whatever. Sao Paulo down in Brazil if you want to, you go do one in Mexico City, I don't care.
Tokyo, wherever you want to go.
Something. 6 maybe is too many. Maybe you only do 4. Maybe you only do 3. I don't know. But those become where your international games are. The reason I think that's easy to accomplish, especially given Europe, is how easy it is to travel in Europe. So you're still going to be able to get fans. You can still have multiple games a season. But along with these stadiums, the other thing you're doing is you're building a practice facility capable of holding both teams. So you have indoor-outdoor fields or whatever. You can alternate the practice times. But it's got the weight rooms, it's got the nutrition areas, the feeding area capabilities, so teams can bring in their own stuff still. You make it as close to home away from home as possible. And I think if you do that, I could start changing my opinion a little bit, because then I think you see the product completely improve, and I would have less complaints about the travel, the injuries, the this, that, and the other. And you could schedule it in such a way where if you have 3 or 4 locations, eventually a team might kind of rotate through those locations one year. And each year you have 4 to 8 teams, depending on how you want to look at the schedule, that go through over and rotate over. And they play all 4 venues. But you're only traveling to 2 different locations because of the practice facilities or something. So I think if they set up permanent situations, this could become a scenario where it's very viable and can work really well. Right now, the way it's currently constructed, I don't like it. But the way I see it as being really good, I think that's where I am going to throw my idea in the hat as of right now.
Robert, what do you think of that?
I actually do think that would make a lot of sense. That way you solidify it, you plant your roots, as we all like to say, and it really gives a better routine, I guess, for all the guys that go over there and play every year. Like, they know what to expect. It's not going to just be something that's put together last minute. You've got a constant playing field, constant training facility. It's something that you can adapt to, rather than having just kind of something thrown in the wrench. Like, you're already overseas, jet lagged, recovering from that. You're still working out. You're still hitting all your meetings. You're still doing all these other things. It's kind of like a shock to the system. So I think if you build in that consistency and have that facility and have those just constant places you go, it's more adaptable for the player. So I would really support that.
Well, Caleb, cheers, buddy. That's a fine idea.
Thank you.
It costs them a lot of money, so I don't see them happening. But that is a fine idea.
Oh, I forgot the NFL has trouble bringing in dollars. I forgot that was a thing that they had an issue with. I apologize. Yeah. I'll try to figure out something that doesn't cost them as much, but
they don't like spending money if they don't have to.
Yo, what's that old saying? You got to spend $1 to make $1. You put up permanent roots. Think about the long term. They're talking about teams overseas. You've already got the facility set up for the new ownership.
What?
Hey,
more than
pay this. We already have. You just take this over. It becomes yours. You go be the owner of this team overseas. But look, we already have facilities for you.
Yeah, I just don't know if that's gonna. The more I see these games just be awful, I don't know if we're gonna get a permanent team overseas. But having more practice facilities, so they're not having to go some weird place, the nutrition, the weight rooms, all that, having that to where they can keep their normal schedule in an unfamiliar place would be a really that would be really impactful. So I like it. All right, moving on. Surprise of college football this weekend. James Franklin getting fired. Get out of here.
Come on, get
Caleb,
put out back and shot.
why did they make that decision right now?
Because they believe the media narrative.
Oh.
Here's the thing, and I do truly believe this. So this isn't just me trying to have some hot take or be a contrarian, if you will. I think they made a big mistake firing James Franklin. This is a dude who won 10-plus games, the last 3 seasons. He was in the mix in the college football playoffs last year. Number 2 ranked team in the country to start the season. He had a top 5 next to his name. It was like 16 days ago, and lost in overtime to Oregon, double overtime to Oregon. Bad run the last couple weeks after that. They've had some issues. One bad season, though, should not make or break a situation of a coach who's turned a program around from where they were, Death Valley, on a completely different way of looking at Death Valley. So it was not happy for a few years there. He came in after O'Brien kind of righted the ship, and he rebuilt the program that, let's be honest, Penn State wasn't really winning before the whole situation happened with Sandusky and everything went down. They won, it was like 2 championships in the early 80s with Paterno, and they were an independent team. They weren't part of a conference. They weren't this national powerhouse. They were a really good team. They always had good players, but they weren't necessarily the team everybody looked to and like, yeah, they could win the championship this year. So even before everything went to hell, they weren't this insanely powerful, gonna beat anybody on any given Saturday kind of thing. So for them to feel like that's what they are and should be again, okay, fine. But is firing him the right move? Because there's very little room above him for improvement. Very little. You got to beat Ohio State and win a national championship. Like, that's it. And there's not many people you would think that can come in and do that at that school. So I believe very strongly that you're always looked at it as that failure or that guy that can't win the big game until you win the big game. And you go back in history, and there's some coaches who, like, they couldn't win for a while. And then all of a sudden they did, and everybody's like, oh, my God, they're such a good coach. Look how good they are. They're winning. Look at this. And then everybody's like, and then they stick around forever, sometimes too long, because they won that national championship. Just the one. But they won it. So I think they moved a little too hastily. I think he should have been given at least another year to see if he could right the ship again. And now they're in a very precarious situation there at Penn State, because the name I kept hearing, and this is not me being a homer, but the name I kept hearing was Matt Rule. Because he's an alum, he's got very close ties with the AD who he rebuilt Temple with. And it would make a lot of sense for him to go back. I don't think he's leaving Nebraska. I truly think he's at Nebraska long-term to rebuild something. I think his family's put roots down there. I think he has put roots down there. He's helped bring the whole new facility and everything into the future to start bringing the recruits and making Nebraska great again. And all of these things that he has put the grassroots effort in himself to grow, nurture, and rebuild. It's not like he took over somebody else's good program, right? And then just kind of put his stamp on it. This is like his baby that he's rebuilding at Nebraska. Could he go to Penn State and do that too? Yeah. But the other thing I think is he's talked pretty openly about Scott Frost and kind of how he, I don't know if admires the right word, but can understand what Scott Frost went through, being like that prodigal son coming home and it not working out. And, you know, he heard some stories in the building that he said he'd keep to himself, and I can respect that. He said things didn't go the way Scott expected them to, you know, for a bunch of different reasons. And I know for a fact it was really hard on him. And that's not what I'm trying to compare myself to. I'm trying to do my own thing here. I'm just trying to do what I think is right. And he's always tried to keep it positive, and he's always tried to say the right thing. And I think that's what he did in the press conference this weekend, where everybody's like, oh, he didn't really turn the job down. I think Dylan Raiola came out today and turned the job down and said, that's coach. He's not going anywhere. And even if he thought about it, his wife's not going anywhere. So if your starting quarterback feels that way, I think you're probably okay ruling Rule out at Penn State, as much as everybody wanted to have him as the odds-on favorite. So then who do you bring in, Pinky? Well, Cignetti was the big name that everybody kept throwing out there. I don't like that one either. I think that's a dude who would much rather throw the middle finger to everybody and be like, you didn't want me earlier. I'm 61 years old. I've tried to do this with other programs. You didn't want to hire me. I'm at Indiana. They like me. They're willing to pay me. They're willing to build something here with me. I'm going to turn this into a national powerhouse and throw it in everybody's face. He feels like that kind of dude. Like, that's how he's going to operate. So then take him out. Then I don't know. Throw some dust into the wind and see what sticks to something, and then pick a guy. I did hear a very interesting name today, and I heard people poo-poo it right away, but I will say it is interesting for a couple reasons, and that's Marcus Freeman out of Notre Dame. And this is why I think it's interesting. And we've talked about this before, Pinky. I told you this. He's always going to have a cap on what he can do at Notre Dame because of their academic standards. And so they're only allowing so many scholarships and leniencies to their standards to bring into the football programs or the athletics, compared to other schools that make a lot more of those. And so because of that, Notre Dame can kind of see a cap in their talent and what they're able to truly recruit because of that. Is that enough to get Marcus Freeman to say, hey, man, I love it here. I love this place. I love what it's about. But if you're not going to change these standards ever again like you did for Lou Holtz so he could win a national championship, then you guys are always going to be like just on the outside looking in. I want to go to somewhere that's ready to put everything into it. That could maybe get him to Penn State. The other thing is being in the Big Ten and playing that schedule and knowing that if you win, it's going to be compared to all-time great stuff because of the road you had to go on every time. Maybe that draws him in. Outside of that, man, I don't know. I really don't know where they look to do better than what Franklin was.
Well, now that I can talk.
Sorry, I wanted to get it all out because I just wanted to say all of it because they were running through my head all day when you told me about this topic.
James Franklin is no longer the coach of Penn State because they have shitty quarterbacks. And in today's college football, you got to have a quarterback, and they haven't had one. They've been just mediocre enough to win games, but not win the right games. Pinky said it first. Boom. All right. You already mentioned this guy. You throw up a post on Facebook about this guy being a great coach, and everybody took it completely sideways. He's not a great coach because he doesn't play the SEC. He's not a great coach because he hasn't won anything yet. I'm here to tell you, Caleb, I agree with you.
Oh. Cheers, good sir.
Because
what the hell was Indiana football before he showed up?
They had football before he showed up?
I think so. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they've had a handful of players drafted in the last 20 years. But this guy is literally Indiana's a top 10 team in football. They're higher ranked in football than their basketball squad has been in 10 years. And they're known for Indiana basketball, right?
Yep.
So again, he has not, he's not in the SEC. He doesn't play the SEC. That's not part of the equation. All you said, and this is where I feel like people don't read. All you said is this guy could be the best coach in the country.
I said Indiana's a legit squad. This guy might be one of the best coaches in the country.
And that's at Indiana. What if you put him on a team that actually has recruiting talent, has a backing? The NIL that Indiana has is freaking ridiculous. It's nothing.
Yeah, but they'll spend it on basketball, so if football is there, let's not get it twisted. Pinky, I've told you this before, and this is why I laughed when everybody's like, Nebraska can never get back to greatness because it's Nebraska. Who wants to go to Nebraska? Who wants to go to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, people? Let's be honest about this, okay? Who wants to go to Norman, Oklahoma, okay? Who wants to go to Ann Arbor, Michigan, or Columbus, Ohio? These aren't big cities where you're like, oh, my God, there's so many things to do. These are college towns. That's what Lincoln, Nebraska is. Indiana and Bloomington is a college town. If you have alumni, sponsors willing to dump money into a winning program, you have a coach who knows what they're doing. Why can't that place become somewhere that's a destination? Notre Dame is in North Bend, Indiana. Guys, okay, build something and they will come. That old Field of Dreams, right? But it's true. And if you can do it properly and you want to stick around long term and really build something, it can become great. That's how all these other schools did it. So there's no reason someplace else can't do it. And if I'm right and Cignetti is that kind of guy and he plans on sticking around long term and truly building something, I don't see why it doesn't happen there.
Going to be tough. If the big schools come calling with that big money, it might be tough for him to say no. It might be tough.
Complete freedom, control, backing, support at a place that you built or go somewhere where that job, how much money does the difference have to be, If Indiana's already paying you $10 million a year, does 15 really make the difference? Or does everybody knowing you're coach, you're the dude, you're that guy, you're going to be looked at all-time status because of what you did somewhere? He seems like a guy who's about that. You know what I mean? The way he talks, the way he carries himself. I hope I'm right. If I'm wrong, fine, I'll eat some crow on that one. But Guy, I hope I'm right because we know how I feel about cocky confidence, baby. That fine line and Signetti's that confidence. I love it.
I mean, he is getting $8 million a year, so that's pretty good.
You start bringing in even more with winning programs. I'm sure you get some bumps along the way, right?
Oh, he ain't. I mean, ooh, his buyout must be. It'd be a lot to buy him out because his contract's good through 2032.
8-year contract. Yep.
So yeah. All right, we got to move on.
Okay.
But quickly, baseball. Holy crap! Was that Seattle-Detroit game like the longest game of all time?
Oh my goodness, that was a great game. That was crazy, dude.
I literally had the game on my phone. I'm at Judas Priest and Alice Cooper watching the game. I got dudes behind me like, oh, what's the score? What's going on? And it kept going. And I saw the stat, like Carpenter for the Tigers was like, he ended up 4 or 5. The Tigers had 5 hits. He had 4 of them.
Yeah, he reached base all 6 times.
That's how inept the Tigers were.
Well, I don't say that. There was really good fielding by Seattle. Pitching was good on both sides. It's not like both teams played terribly. It's just one of those games that somebody was going to win and somebody was going to lose, dude. And whoever lost, people were going to say something negative about. And whoever won, people would be like, "Oh my gosh, that was way to grind it out. What a great win!" Like it was just one of those games. It was unfortunate. Quick side note before we continue. Apologies to the people. Pinky grabbed an old graphic here. He didn't mean to, but it's too late to change it now. We do know Milwaukee is playing LA, and
LA is
they're
up.
on right now. LA won.
Up.
LA won game 1. LA's up 4-1. 5-1. So it looks like LA is about to win game 2 as well.
And it's still 1 out with 2 runners on. So
Seattle and Milwaukee have never won a World Series. It would be crazy cool to see those two compete in the World Series for a first-time winner, no matter what happened. That would be cool. I am such a big Ohtani fan. I know they're the evil empire with the Yankees, but I find it hard to root against the Dodgers because I love Ohtani so much. Look, I've been on his bandwagon since he started in the league, and I knew he was going to pitch and hit. So
Seattle's up 2-0.
Can't fault me there.
They won the first 2 games.
Yeah. So then Seattle's won the first 2 games against Toronto, which a lot of people had Toronto winning that series as the favorite. So for them to steal both games in Toronto to start the series is huge.
My
let's go Seattle.
Hannah's uncle, the one that went to WrestleMania, loves wrestling, he's got tickets to Game 4 in Seattle.
Nice.
So it should be cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's go. If Ohtani wins another one, awesome. If Seattle could win one, that'd be great. It would be. So that would be
also
fun.
Though, if Milwaukee could win, would be cool too. Bob Uecker, anyone that knows, just a bit outside Major League class act. One of the greatest team announcers, play-by-play that the game has ever seen. Baseball legend. Be cool to see them get it done for him. So there's a lot of really cool storylines that could come about because of this.
He made baseball fun.
Very much so.
Robert, tell us about what's happening this weekend, baby.
Bro, it's the Race of the Americas in Austin, Texas, baby. It's going to be a very tough weekend splitting time between football and F1.
At 1 o'clock, too. Like that's
at 1 o'clock, bro.
That's
like
such a right in
time.
Football time.
Such a weird time.
Multi-view for the win.
Like, I mean, it'll happen that way, Caleb. Like, let's be real. We all have that ability.
I think you got to go to Caleb's to do that, though.
I mean, I can also do that.
But you have multi-view?
No, I will force multi-view because I have ways, but that's neither here nor there.
Are you pirating stuff, Robert? Is that what's happening?
No.
Multi-view plus phone plus tablet plus multiple other TVs. I can have up to 8 games going on at once.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I've got 8 screens in this room that I can just put something on, so it'll be fine. I'm excited. I really still hope that McLaren starts showing their Achilles heel a little bit more like they have been, and Max just comes in and does some crazy shit. That's really what I'm pulling for at this point
You
in the
want chaos.
season.
You want chaos.
I want chaos, and I want Max to show the reason why he's the freaking GOAT and just steal it, because that would be epic.
I'm
It
rooting
just
for
put-
Lando.
and it would put Piastri in his place.
Piastri's a punk bitch, so I'm rooting for Lando.
Yeah, we converted Piggy to the dark side. I love it. Love
go.
it. Yeah, at this point, anybody but Piastri is really what I'm pulling for.
I am looking forward to you guys telling me what happened. I will not be watching the race since I'll be at the Broncos game. So
yeah, we'll get you.
I'll catch
bud.
the next one. Hannah
No worries.
is out in Vegas, and she said most of the streets are closed because they are preparing for the F1 race in Vegas.
It's a month and 2 weeks away, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right. For those that don't know, they have to do things like weld the manhole covers shut.
Yeah.
Because the first year they didn't do that, and when the cars were going over, because of the actual force that the car had sucking down because of the G-forces, it was pulling the manhole covers up after the car would go over them, and then the next car could be damaged because it was like popping. Just absurd. So yeah, Vegas has done a lot to make this race worthy of continuing. They had a lot of complaints after the first year and took them to heart by all accounts, and now a lot of people like the track as far as the racing side goes. As far as the population side of Vegas goes, I've heard they absolutely hate it because it's literally in downtown on the strip Vegas. So it really messes a lot of things up, but cool nonetheless. So we'll get that here soon too.
Yes,
if you're not from Vegas, it's very inconvenient for you.
Yeah. It's November 22nd at 9 p.m.
That is a Saturday at 9 p.m. Let's do it. I do want to.
I can't. I will have a VIP with me, so that's not happening.
Who's a VIP?
My dad's flying in from Germany.
He doesn't. You're not allowed to watch. He hates F1. He refuses to watch
I will be.
races.
I don't know if he will be sleeping or what by then, but I will be spending time with him. I haven't seen him in
let's
2 years.
Go watch the race and drink some beers with your dad. That sounds like
he needs a couple uppers, a couple downers, a bar, and we'll go watch some racing.
All right.
I can get a pass for that. Robert's dad came from Germany, babe. I have to go. I can't, like, he's here from Germany.
He's here from Germany. We gotta go. Gotta make it happen.
All right. I'll make it
Find
happen.
out when he comes in.
Just let your dad know that's the plan ahead of time, and we'll get whatever supplies we need to make sure the uppers, downers, and bars and whatnot happen so we can watch some racing. Well, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
All right, we'll make it happen. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do.
It's the one race we don't have to watch at like 6 a.m., Robert.
There's no sports to watch either, so like
right, because it's Saturday night. So
I mean, that's not even remotely true, but okay.
What's going on November 22nd on a Saturday?
College football, last games of the season.
What game? Do we know what game that will be?
Oh,
Robert,
games.
We're watching F1.
It's everybody's last game of the season that Saturday.
All right, Pinky, I got you. Cool.
We're watching F1.
I'm still watching it with you guys. I'm just saying, like, there are other, like, I'll be watching other things at the same time while we're hanging out watching the races. Like, that's like not a small. There'll be NBA on, probably college basketball will be on. It's a busy Saturday.
100%.
Oh, this guy. All right.
Quarter tossing, okay, is still going on, even at that time.
This guy.
Robert, we had the season finale of Peacemaker Season 2.
Yes.
Tell the people what happened.
First off, the people are wrong.
Yes! I didn't want to say anything. I was waiting to see what you said. Bunch of dumbasses saying that this is not good, lackluster, disappointment, blah, blah, blah. Dumbass people. Wrong. You heard Robert say it to your face.
Like, this was
Get him, Robert.
This was a perfect finale. Like, this sets up not only the next Peacemaker project, it also sets up what's coming in the DC, which was the whole point of this finale. And right or wrong, it was still fucking enjoyable. There were so many things that happened. There were so many bows that were tied up, so that way the next chapter can begin. And I loved it. I am ready to go for the next DCU projects. I'm excited for Man of Tomorrow, wherever this is going to take us, and Peacemaker's story next. James Gunn has gone on record saying that Peacemaker is essential. So we will be seeing him again. So I am looking forward to when that happens. So who knows when that'll be, but we know he's coming back.
Look, we all know I'm easy to please. But when I watch this, I don't understand. Like, we got so much throughout the season. I understand what the internet community is saying. There's not a lot of action in this episode. There's not a lot of like crazy stuff, but there's so much like
That's what last episode was for.
Yeah, there was so much heartfelt.
Respect the
moment.
storytelling.
So, you know what really it angers me, because when Game of Thrones was releasing, they had the same formula. The second to last episode is like the action pack, like this is everything what's going down, blah, 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 blah. And then the following episode was, this is the cliff point to where we are now going to arc into the next season. We're going to start telling little stories, and this is where we're going to move forward. And everyone was like, great. And then we started telling our theories about where this is going to go and what the noise was behind Chris at the end of the episode and where that might take us and what he's going to have to do there with No Way Out. There's so many things to happen here that it really does set up the next stories to unfold.
Bro, when they started, the team, the Argus team, was going into each dimension. And literally, they were losing people every time.
Left and right, bro.
Different
They were
dimensions.
like, bam!
You could
That
feel...
episode, the one where he became a zombie.
The little gremlins
The little gremlins.
in
Those things look
Candyland.
scary.
I do love the part when they like open up the door and it's like a big ass floating skull.
And
That
it's
looks crazy as
screaming.
fuck. And they're
It
like,
wasn't floating. It was on like spider
It was
legs.
on spider legs, bro.
Yeah.
they're like, nope, I'm out.
No, we're good.
Floating would have been better. I would have felt like I could like punch it away and it would just float off. Spider
And
legs, you're like, nope.
I just loved how they all looked at each other and they were like, yeah, we're good. We don't
Yeah,
Take the
this ain't
picture.
and it was done.
But I could feel that emotion as they continued losing their teammates
Oh, for sure.
in these different dimensions, not knowing what they were even doing.
Yeah.
That to me, I thought that was really impactful for me.
There was a lot about it that was
I love
really good.
the friend intervention of breaking him down and really like his validation as a person to come and stay and be a part of his family and live those moments again, going to the concert with Harcourt and singing the songs and whatnot was very impactful, and it really showed you that he is taking the chance on that life again, and he is moving forward with himself and gonna live with these opportunities and mistakes that he's gonna have.
Like, people acted like this ending made like everything like a closed door and there's not like 1,000 different places it could go. Yo, his brother from another dimension is still out there.
He's gonna come kill him!
Who still has access to just walk into the common room, if you will, and then go door hunting if he wants to.
He does
Okay,
not.
so that's still easily anything they could tell that story very. What do you mean no?
He doesn't have that ability.
Yes,
Why not?
he
He has access to
does.
the vault.
How does he have access to the vault?
They
Going through the library where his
No, that's just a doorway. He doesn't have access to the door. The door has to be opened by that machine.
Pinky. Then how did him and his dad go in there and get their
that
helmets
was
and
just
stuff?
Chris's. That was just our Chris's universe's thing. Over there, they had just the keypad and they punched it in and they walked in.
But they don't know that because they've never walked into the library. They've never walked through their door.
He just saw it. He just saw it happen. He's gonna figure it out.
He knows it's there.
It's gonna happen.
We'll
He's
see.
coming back. He's coming back.
We'll see.
You don't
Okay.
just say something like that and
They
don't
have
give it
to-
a vendetta.
They have to
What?
pay it off.
Say you were
But-
wrong. Just say you were wrong, and then we can say we'll see. Because
He doesn't
you
know
just said he
nothing
didn't have
about
access to it, and he most definitely has the ability to just walk right in there.
I'll pull it up.
You can pull it up if you want.
They said there was 99 other doors. I think Chris said at one point, right?
Something like that.
And I only heard him get into the 20s, if I remember correctly. So there's all these other opportunities there as well, which then there's working with Lex, there's Chris in the other dimension, like so many crazy things. Obviously, James Gunn said this ties directly into the next Superman, so there won't most likely be a Peacemaker season 3. So I guess a lot of these questions get answered there, and it makes me assume that Peacemaker will be a big part of Superman in
Yeah,
some
it's a
fashion.
It's just the keypad. He can get in there and go explore. 'Cause then
He
she's
found
staring
that
at
really
him.
quickly.
Don't test me,
Pinky,
motherfuckers.
Pinky, we've proved each other wrong on a lot of occasions over the years doing this. Nobody has ever busted our balls and made us eat crow that quickly on anything ever before. That was wild.
Boom.
He's
Closes the
rewinding
door.
it and playing it again.
So,
Whatever, Robert.
but wait. Robert, I was wrong. You were right.
Eat a dick, Robert.
Oh, that's
Well-
good.
It was just right there. I just proved you wrong.
I got a lot of questions. What, Robert, do you know, like, is their little thing that they formed there at the end, their little group, is that a DC comic? Like, is that another little comic group thing?
That's a whole thing going on.
Or is that just the
11th Street
DC
Kids
universe
is
with
its
James
own
Gunn?
thing. DC Universe is James Gunn thing.
So that's just his thing. That's not comics whatsoever?
Correct.
Okay.
So we'll see where this develops from here.
I mean, I feel like they're going to have some kind of workings with Superman and stuff
Well, yeah.
as the good side to
So,
Lex Luthor's team
the
in
Man
the
of
Superman Lex
Tomorrow,
Luthor movie.
the Man
That's
of
what
Tom-
I'm thinking.
The Man of Tomorrow, with what has already been shown, you've seen the concept art of Lex in the suit and Superman, but you also, if you looked at the script title that he posted, it also appears that it could involve Brainiac to some degree. So we'll see. We'll see. It's just speculation. I'm very excited. I thought this finale was great. Definitely better than the Game of Thrones finale, but that's another story. So definitely excited for where this goes from here.
is this
James
it for
Gunn, I think he did a
Peacemaker?
great job. For right
don't
now,
get no
yes,
more-
we don't know when Peacemaker is
By all
coming back.
accounts,
We just
this
know that
is-
Peacemaker is essential. We just don't know when he will return. So
'Cause I feel like this is a moneymaker. Like there's no reason to
now
stop
we
making
wait.
these.
Now we wait. Because the next DCU projects for a little while are not involving Peacemaker.
Man of Tomorrow is until 27.
Correct. The next one we will have is the Supergirl movie. We will then also in September have the Clayface movie, and that'll be it for 26. And then we'll get Man of Tomorrow in 27, and then the Batman, and then the Battinson Batman in 27 as well. So as of right now, Peacemaker is not on any of the current in development lists, but that will change, I'm sure.
Okay.
They've got to do another Peacemaker season. They've got to.
Well, Pinky,
It's too good not to.
we'll have to wait and see.
Too good not to.
Or James Gunn is just going to be brilliant and put out quality material continuously and just be okay with having a piece to tell part of the story and then move on from it and keep moving forward. And if you can do that, then damn, that could be awesome. It'd be unfortunate because we wouldn't get really good characters we like, but it could also be really amazing because it's continuously developing and evolving.
Right.
You can't have Peacemaker in another dimension and the rest of his team just out there and not get the band back together. Like, it's got to happen.
But I mean, you could do that in 3 minutes in the Superman movie and move right along.
He's not wrong.
No, because then I need to see. I need the team. I need hardcore. I need Graybeard, and I need Adebayo.
Well, I'm saying you might get the team as a side character kind of thing within the Superman movie, but the reunion you're looking for could be like 3 minutes, and that might be all you get.
No, I need more. I need more. This needs to continue. The Peacemaker needs to continue.
The season must go on
as a show. It's got to continue.
I will say that'll be the Peacemaker season 2 will be the first thing that I put in my review journal for movies and TV series. So I'm looking forward to kind of going over that again.
Word. Pinky, I will say the reason I think there needs to be another season or something more than just a Superman movie is because you did drop him off in another dimension that you said is going to be used for metahumans.
Right.
And I find that way too big of a thing to just put into a movie that we all know is going to have a lot more to do with something else than that.
Can we also just talk about Rick Flag's arc for a moment from when we started in Creature Commandos to where we ended up in Superman? Like that's pretty fucking, or end of Peacemaker, I should say. It's pretty wild.
I mean, you find out why and how your son gets killed. It could put you down a pretty.
Well, now he's teaming up with Lex Luthor and stuff.
So I'm saying though, it could put you down a pretty different path to see the ultimatums, if you will, rather than the actual objectives.
Well, I'm so ready to see what James Gunn does with the rest of this.
All right. So moving on from Peacemaker, Roberts and I had the pleasure of going and seeing Tron on opening night, and then Robert saw it 2 more times after that. So he is definitely what I would call a Tron Ares expert at this point. All right, Robert. So the internet community is very split on this topic of Tron Ares. So before we talk about what their feelings are, what are your feelings?
Tron Ares is a good visual album for Nine Inch Nails. It does a lot of good of paying homage to the original movies, but the way that I look at it is how I view some of the Star Wars elements. You have the main Darth Vader Skywalker timeline. Then you have the other little cuts in between with Clone Wars and whatnot. Tron Ares is very much the solo to what Star Wars is. It's a good addition for the greater story, but it's not the main story. And with where they end up taking things, it could lead into the 4th movie if we do get one, to being a part of that main timeline. But it doesn't do enough to be Tron. There were a lot of things that I wish there were there. I really still think that Legacy's album and overall story was slightly better. But for a Tron movie, on its face value, is a great movie. I give it a 7.8 out of 10, or 7.8 out of 10. Jared Leto actually surprised me. I really thought he did a great job. The soundtrack, phenomenal, and the visuals, absolutely breathtaking. Tron isn't known for its beautiful, in-depth, complex story, but the story itself for me was kind of bland for main characters that we haven't even met before that I really don't care about. Tron isn't in it at all, and that really bothers me. Tron should be in there somewhere. I really thought that there was one brief moment that he was going to be introduced, and it didn't happen. Unfortunate. I really wish they did more with Kevin Flynn. I really feel like just having him there as the apparition didn't do it for me. He's still out there somewhere. He's still in the grid from 84. You see that at the end when Leto comes back into the real world. There's a lot of story there that I think that needs to be told. God willing, we get another movie and we get to continue with where this story's going and what it's set up. There's a lot of questions at the end of the movie that I have that I really want answered, more so than how Legacy ended. So I will give Ares that. But I'm looking forward to owning it. I'm gonna watch it again. As a Tron fan, I really, really did enjoy it. I just wish there was some, as a diehard fan, I wish there was just a little bit more to it than what we got.
All right, Pinky, as somebody who's never seen a single Tron movie, basically doesn't know jack shit about it, what did you think? Pinky approved, how we feeling? Give us the rundown on your side, because it's a completely different take than what Robert would give.
I had a blast. It was awesome. It was a very simple story, which I'm a simple guy. I am. I'm a simple guy. It was awesome. It was great. The character I did care about was I did care about Ares. You know, he's AI simulated character that is brought to life, and he wants to live and then also wants to do what he's supposed to do based on his directive, but then he's questioning his directive. The soundtrack's great. The visuals are great. Everything matches. Like, the soundtrack matches up with every scene. Like, it's awesome, man. There's a scene where they're in the grid trying to steal they're in somebody's server trying to steal information, and the soundtrack that plays with that builds the emotion, builds the, like, it's just so well done. If you haven't seen Tron, or any Tron like I have, I think you'd go like, damn, that's a damn good movie, because it just makes sense. You don't have anything from before that like makes you have these opinions about what's right, what's wrong. It was good.
Could you...
Don't get me wrong, I did buy almost every popcorn bucket that's up there on the shelf, so like...
Could you go into this, Pinky, thinking, like, for all you know, this is the first movie, and build from there, and you could care less about anything else, and you understand exactly what's going on? You didn't need the other ones to know? Not Robert. I'm not asking you right now. I'm asking Pinky.
Damn it.
I mean, I thought it did a pretty good job, because it does play homage to the previous Trons. They don't feel overly connected, at least from the way that this movie played out. If you've never seen a Tron movie and you go see this movie, I don't think it hurts your opinion at all.
So, like, again, you could see this as just the first one. Like, if you didn't know there were two other ones, what you saw in this movie could have just been like, all right, that's just kind of some stuff they're using to kind of tell the story, and they could always build on that later if they want to build the universe and bring other things in. You could see that with this movie being like the foundation of a universe.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Robert, same question. What are your feelings if I said you could get rid of the first two and start from here?
It's really tough because you don't understand the Encom and Dillinger rivalry and why that matters. You get a lot of inklings of like Kevin Flynn and Sam Flynn and why, like, what they were, and
but again, is that stuff that they could build out in other movies as the universe grows, where it would be like, oh yeah, I can see where they're going with that now, rather than it being technically what this was built off of? I'm asking this because I'm really trying to get at this. Do you feel like that's what they were trying to do with this movie? Because I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard some things, I've read some things. I'm kind of wondering if this was Disney trying to do almost a hard reset to get rid of the first two and retell the story.
It has very much of a reboot taste to it. The biggest issue that I also have with it, that I also take up issue with the other movies, and you're going to laugh at me for it, is that there wasn't enough of the grid. I don't, like, you get in the Dillinger grid for maybe 20 minutes, and then you're back. I want more of the grid. I want more of that structure. I want more of that story, because
Like the whole second movie is in the grid. Legacy is all in the grid.
exactly. But it's there's still not enough of it for me to where like there's still so much story there from the 84 grid that needs to be told.
I mean, you could go a whole mini series with just in the grid and how the grid operates and how
Right.
they evolve and what you could tell the story all from the grid side of the perspective. I
if
fully
you-
agree, but that would be, again, build out the universe. This could be amazing.
Right, exactly. Because like if you look at it at face value in Legacy, you have a total segment of like maybe 30 minutes, if that, maybe less, of a disc war battle and light cycles. And
I
then
mean,
you
how
get-
did Flynn build off the grid but build in the grid still?
And that's the issue that I take is you have these systems that you barely get time in
That's fair.
that I want to know more of. And so when you finally get into the grid, not to mention how you even get there to begin with, and that's a whole other story.
Right.
Um,
Right. I agree with you 100 there.
it really leaves you wanting more. And by the end of the movie, and that's really where you kind of need the first movie to really kind of bring it all together with where you go throughout the movie, is you get Evan Peters' character, Julian Dillinger. He goes into the Dillinger grid, and all of a sudden, because he has to, in a long story short, he has to reset and reboot the entire grid because it gets blown up. And he zaps himself in to exonerate himself from any crimes and things like that. But this grid is a revert save, basically. So it's corrupted in a sense.
So at the crux of it, really what it comes down to is just like the first two movies. It's like a makeup on a pig, if you will. It's the Ferrari body on a VW
it needs
frame.
more.
It
needs more.
It's just missing that
The spice, the sizzle.
the umami, what do they say in the I can't think of what the French call it, the je ne sais quoi or whatever they call it, like the essence. It's just missing a little bit of that, is what you're saying. It's like really pretty wrapping, and it just doesn't quite fill it out all the way.
Right, and
almost, again, but doesn't get across the finish line.
And Tron's a cult classic to begin with, so what you're setting up already, and you're not going to maybe answer, is very frustrating.
Sure. I can see that, but I mean, honestly, that was kind of the complaints about the first two movies as well. Like, crazy cool idea, didn't quite flesh out the story the way we wanted to. I love hearing that both of you think there could be a really cool universe that could be built off of this, and it could easily be a jumping board for that. So I am excited to see it. My wife's a big Tron fan. Hopefully we'll get a chance to, but worst case, once it comes out on video, I'll take a look.
Oh, as soon as it goes up for pre-order on a physical copy, I will have it.
Cool.
Actually, speaking of Caleb, before we sign off for the evening, you do now have access to Fantastic Four and the newest Mission Impossible.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Are you sharing logins that I don't know about? What's going on here?
He's had this login for a while. You were here when he asked for it originally. Dude, I've got over 200 plus movies available on a digital platform anyway.
All true things, but also I love how Pinky acts like he's mad that I'm getting something he's never seen before. Right. When I'm seeing it like basically a year after it was released.
For real.
I'm sitting over here with the Amish and Pinky's like, "What? You gave him electricity?"
Right.
Oh, boys.
Pinky, is there another slide for us to ruin ourselves with, or are we doing final thoughts now, good sir?
I believe we are final thoughts, my good man.
You go.
No, Robert, you go real quick.
I'm excited for F1 this weekend to figure out the time for watching football and racing with probably Pinky. I don't know where I'm going to be at yet. We haven't really got that far. I already ruined his weekend by coming over for a breakfast party. So on all seriousness, final thoughts, I've enjoyed the movies this year. That's kind of been the final year or final like movie for me of the year. There's 2 more that I'm really kind of about, but this was the kind of the highlight of my filmography of the year. So I'm excited for next year. A lot of good stuff. A lot of more movie reviews coming in the future. And Pinky, of course, you're going to be there, and Caleb will catch up eventually.
Let's go. Now I remember. Guys, I love professional wrestling, as we all know. John Cena and AJ Styles put on a match this weekend at Crown Jewel. That was a love letter to wrestling. If you like wrestling, kind of know wrestling, you got to watch it. It's so freaking good. Got to watch it. John Cena and AJ Styles for the win.
Solid. Love it. Hey, NFL. Square peg, round hole, baby. Figure it out. The franchises that do have a lot more success. Ladies and gentlemen, please spend those quality moments with your loved ones, family, friends, inner circle, whoever you consider that to be. Cherish those moments. Do not take them for granted. Watch us on repeat if you have to, if that's what that means. That's truly how we feel. But we also cannot thank you enough for the likes, follows, the shares, the subscribes. Pass this around to everybody you know. If you enjoy us, please interact with us. We love that. Thank you. Till next time. Cheers. We're out. Peace.
Pinky in the building, reppin' orange and blue. Broncos country, yeah, you know how we do. Hot take so wild, you remember the name. From college ball to the pros, Caleb spitting game. Robert here, the pop culture plug. From comics to racing, pour the drink in the mug. Sports, nonsense and whiskey, yeah, bold talk. Good laughs and a glass in the air. Sports, nonsense and whiskey, right? Kick back, tune in, take a wild side stride.